Can you take my phone?
Yeah.
Thanks, because I don't want it falling out of my pocket.
Somebody said, oh, take a look at that baby. Somebody said, oh, how do you doodle-do? Somebody said, she's sure a wonderful baby. What beautiful eyes, hair, lips, so good to be true.
Thank you.
Somebody said, well, she's a little bit silly. Somebody said, sure, there's nothing up in her head. But when they rave, I go see, 'cause I know she's in love with me. So why do I care what somebody said?
14 hours.
Yes, Hedda dear, I'm here. All alone.
Yeah.
My poor sister has gone to her rest at last.
I had heard, as you can see. Tesman sent word.
Yes, he promised he would. All the same, I felt that I had to bring news of her death to this house of life myself.
That was most kind of you.
She shouldn't have died now. This is no time for your house to be a house of mourning.
She died quite peacefully, I gather.
Yes, the end was so beautiful. And she got to see George one last time, which I know made her happy, content. Has he not come home yet?
No, he said in his note that he might be detained. Won't you sit down?
No, thank you. I would really like to, but I still have so much to do.
Can I be of any help?
No. Hedda Tesman must have nothing to do with the sadness of death. She must not even think about it.
One is not always mistress to one's own thoughts.
That is the way of the world. At home we shall be sewing the shroud, and here they'll be sewing other things. And two, I thank God.
You've come home at last.
Oh, Aunt Julie, you're here, and with Hedda too. Just think of that.
I was just leaving. Have you done all that you promised, George?
No, I'm afraid I've forgotten half of it. I will come to see you tomorrow. Today my mind is just spinning out of control.
Oh, George dear, you must not take it like this.
What is it you mean?
You must find happiness that she has found peace at last.
Oh yes, Aunt Rena. Yes. Yes.
You will feel lonely now, Miss Tesman.
Yes, I suppose so, in the beginning, but that won't last too long, I hope. I'm sure I'll find someone who can take Rena's little room.
Really? Who do you think will take it?
Oh, there's always someone who needs looking after.
Would you really put all that on yourself once again?
Heaven forgive you, child, it was no trouble at all.
But a complete stranger, how would you?
One soon makes friends, especially when someone needs you. And soon there may be something in this house to keep an old aunt busy too.
Yes, just think how happy we three could be if... Oh, nothing. Let us just all hope it works out for the best.
Well, I'm sure you two want to talk. And George, I believe Hedda has something special she'd like to tell you. So I'll be going now to Rena. Rena, imagine that. She's with me still. And with my poor brother.
Yes, just think of that, Aunt Julie. Hmm?
I rather think you are more upset at Aunt Rena's death than Aunt Julie is.
Well, really, I'm very worried about Eilert Lovborg.
Is there any news?
I went to his rooms. I wanted to tell him that his manuscript was safe.
Did you find him there?
No, but I met Mrs. Elvsted, and she said he had been here this morning.
Yes, as soon as you'd left.
And he said he had torn his manuscript to pieces.
Yes, that is what he said.
My God, he must have been completely out of his mind. I guess you thought it best not to give it to him.
He did not get it.
But you did tell him that we had it.
No. Did you tell Mrs. Elfstead?
No, under the circumstances, I thought it better not to. But Hedda, you should have told him that we had it. Imagine if he should do himself some harm. Hedda, give me the manuscript at once and I will take it to him right away. Where is it?
I have not got it.
Haven't got it? What do you mean you haven't got it?
I have burned it. Every single word of it.
Burned it? You've burned Eilert Lovborg's
Don't
manuscript?
shout. The servant will hear you.
Burned? Good God, no, this is impossible!
Nevertheless, it is true.
Do you know what that means? Do you realize that it was stolen? Judge Brack will tell you what this means.
I think it wise not to speak of it again, neither to Judge Brack nor to anyone else.
But why? Why did you do it? Tell me!
I did it for your sake, George.
For me?
Yes, what you told me this morning. When he read to you from the manuscript, you admitted that you had feelings of jealousy.
Yes, but I didn't mean anything by that.
No matter. I couldn't bear the idea of you living in somebody else's shadow, George.
But you've never shown your feelings for me like this before.
Well, I might as well, now that I'm... Well, you can ask Aunt Julie. She will tell you soon enough.
Oh God, Hedda, I think I'm beginning to understand. Is it true?
Quiet. The servant will hear you.
I don't care. It's only Berta. I will tell her myself.
This is killing me, all this.
What is?
This absurdity, George.
Is it absurd that I'm happy for us? I won't tell anyone. I won't tell Berta.
Why not that too?
Only I must tell Aunt Julie. Do you realize you called me George just now? You've never done that before. Oh, she'll be so happy. I must tell her. I must tell Aunt Julie.
Yes, she will be so happy when she learns that I've burned Eilert Lovborg's manuscript for your sake.
No. As for the manuscript, I think it's best that we forget about that and never talk about it again. I meant I must tell her about your feelings for me. Only... Oh, good God, the manuscript. What's to become of Eilert Lovborg now? What if he should do himself some harm?
Please forgive my coming back, Hedda.
Thea, what is the matter?
Is it Eilert Lovborg again?
I'm terribly afraid something awful has happened to him.
Do you think so?
I overheard people talking. All the stories going around. They're unbelievable.
I've heard some things too, but...
What have you heard?
Oh, well, I haven't heard anything really at all. Not clearly, anyway. Perhaps they didn't know anything definite. Or else... Well, anyway, they stopped talking when they saw me, and I didn't have the courage to ask.
Let us just hope that there was some misunderstanding.
I think, in fact, I heard the hospital mentioned.
The hospital?
Surely not.
It terrified me, so I went to his lodgings and I asked for him there.
You actually had the courage to go there.
Well, what else could I do? I couldn't bear it, not knowing.
But he wasn't there.
No, they knew nothing about him. They said he hadn't been there since yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday? But how could they say that?
I know something terrible has happened to him. I can feel it.
Hedda, what if I were to go and make some inquiries?
No, you must not get yourself involved in this.
Judge Brack, is that you?
Yes. Why, it was imperative that I should speak with you this evening.
You heard about Aunt Rena?
Yes, that among other things.
Sad, isn't it?
Yes, my dear Tesman, depends on how you look at it.
You heard other news then?
Is it upsetting, Judge Brack?
Yes, that too depends on how you look at it, Mrs. Tesman.
It's Eilert Lovborg, isn't it? Something terrible has happened to him.
Makes you say that, madam. Have you already heard something?
For God's sakes, man! Out with it!
Well, I'm sorry that I must inform you that Eilert Lovborg has been taken to the hospital. He is lying on the point of death.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
On the point of death?
So soon.
And we parted in anger, Hedda. I must go to him while he's still alive.
Oh, no, it is of no use. No one can be admitted.
What is it? Tell me, please. What happened?
Do you mean to imply that he himself?
Yes. Yes, I am sure of it.
Yes, your guess is quite correct, Mrs. Tesman.
Just think, he himself. Fancy that!
Shot himself.
Another correct guess, Mrs. Tesman.
When did it happen, Mr. Brack?
Why, it was this afternoon, just between 3 and 4.
My God! Where? Where did he do it?
Where? Why, I suppose it must have been at his lodgings.
No, it can't have been there. I was there between 6 and 7.
Ah, well, I suppose it wasn't there then. I'm really not sure. What I do know is he was found. He had shot himself through the heart.
Oh, God! That he should die like that!
Was it through the heart?
Yes, that's what I said.
Not in the temple.
Through the heart, Mrs. Tesman.
I suppose there is beauty in that too.
What do you mean, Mrs. Tesman?
Nothing. Nothing.
And you say that it's critical.
Yes. The wound is absolutely mortal. Why, I believe the end has already come.
Yes, the end. Oh, Hedda!
How do you know all of this?
From a policeman, a gentleman I had worked with before.
At last, an act that has some meaning.
Hedda, what kind of meaning can there be in this?
I mean that there is beauty in this act.
Oh, Mrs. Tesman.
My God, Hedda, where's the beauty in this?
Eilert Lovborg has settled his account with life.
No, that's not how it happened. You can't think it. He must have been out of control.
Utterly distraught.
Out of his mind, like he was when he tore up the manuscript.
The manuscript? You say he tore it up?
Yes, last night.
Oh, God.
Fascinating.
Hedda, we shall never get over this. I find it impossible to believe that Eilert Lovborg has taken his own life and then not to leave behind the manuscript that would have made his name immortal.
Oh, if only it could be put together again.
Yes, if only it could. I would give anything. Anything.
Oh, perhaps it can, Mr. Tesman.
What do you mean?
Oh, look at these. These are his notes. He used to write down his ideas, and then he would dictate to me.
And you kept them? All of them?
Yes, they're all here. I brought them with me when I left home.
Let me see them.
They're in no particular order, I'm afraid. All mixed up.
Yes, but perhaps we could make something out of this. Maybe if we worked on it together.
Oh, yes. We must try.
We shall do more than that. We shall do it. For me, there will be nothing else. This will be my life.
You, George, your life.
Yes. Every spare moment. My own research must wait. You understand, don't you, Hedda? I owe it to Eilert Lovborg. I owe it to his memory.
Perhaps.
Oh, well, so we must put our minds to this. We must put our grief aside as far as that is possible. And
Yes, I'll do the best I can.
well then, Mrs. Elfstead, if you will come with me, we should start to go over these notes. My dear Judge Brack, if you will excuse us. Come this way.
If only it were possible.
My dear Hedda, Eilert Lovborg meant more to you than you're willing to admit. Am I wrong?
I do not answer such questions. All I know is that Eilert Lovborg had the courage to live life as he chose. And now, this last great act. He had the strength to turn away from the banquet of life so early.
Well, I'm sorry that I must shatter that comfortable illusion.
Illusion.
Yes, Eilert Lovborg did shoot himself, but it was not a matter of choice.
Not a matter of choice.
No, things did not happen quite in the same way as I described.
And you were hiding something. What was it?
Poor Mrs. Elvsted's sake, I idealized the facts somewhat.
And what are the facts?
First, that Lovborg is already dead.
At the hospital.
Yes, without regaining consciousness.
What else are you hiding?
That it did not happen at his lodgings.
Well, that hardly makes a difference.
Perhaps, but I must tell you, he was found shot in Mademoiselle Diana's boudoir.
He can't have gone there again today.
Yes, he did go. He went to reclaim something he said he'd lost. Why, he spoke wildly about a child, a lost child.
Oh.
Yes, I thought at first he must have been speaking about his manuscript, but now I gather he destroyed it himself. He must have been talking about a wallet.
Yes, that must have been it. And it was there that he was found.
Yes, with a pistol in his breast pocket. It had discharged, and the bullet passed through his chest and into a vital part.
His heart.
No, his bowels.
That too? Oh, what is it that makes everything I touch turn ugly and mean?
There is one last thing, one last unpleasant feature.
What is that?
The pistol he had.
What about it?
He must have stolen it.
Stolen it? No, that is not true. He did not steal it.